Hi, my name's Logan Hopson. I'm majoring in global studies with a minor in human development and family studies. Thank you so much for the opportunity to submit a video interview. I feel like I was destined for a life in marriage and family therapy before I was even born. I was born during a traumatic time in American history, right after 9/11. Fun fact, my name was even chosen from Logan Airport in Boston, where 9/11 started. I now know that statistics in my textbook would say that I was born with an uphill battle for success, but at the time I just knew that I had a spunky spirit ready for battle. I was born to a very young married couple and a father who ultimately chose a life of addiction. Divorce became part of my story before I even had my first memory. While I remember struggling with the effects of abandonment, adapting to change, and feelings of guilt, there are a couple of key statements that my mom made through the years that have been the foundation to the person I am today and ultimately why I've chosen a career in marriage and family therapy. From as early as I can remember, I can hear her saying, "Logan, while we're not promised a perfect life, every day is an opportunity to take the life we're given and make the most out of it." This led me to excel in athletics, academics, and early leadership opportunities. I was chosen as a varsity athlete and starter on the softball team in 7th grade. My lowest grade throughout school was a high A, and I represented my school throughout middle and high school in many clubs, including FBLA, where I competed nationally with a presentation of a community service project that I organized at my high school. This project involved a school-wide assembly where speakers like Mike Letzenkirchen and Abby's Angels Foundation came and spoke to our school about distracted and drunk driving. At the time, I didn't know just how relevant this topic would become in my life in just a few short years. Another foundational principle I remember is true joy comes from finding ways to serve others. This began in early opportunities in my community and church and grew into many summers volunteering at Children's Hospital of Alabama and with the Spina Bifida Association of Alabama. What started as being a young volunteer at summer camps led to leading Spina Bifida camps and fundraising events by my high school years. I noticed that during these experiences, it wasn't just about participating or being present, but more importantly, about finding ways to make lasting connections. One of my first campers not only had spina bifida, but she was also deaf. My first year at camp, I can remember how badly it broke my heart to know that she was struggling to make connections because she couldn't communicate with her peers. I spent the next year learning American Sign Language online and practicing on FaceTime with her. It was amazing to see the difference it made in her life by the next year at camp. Communication with a peer led to her water skiing and tubing for the first time and gave her the opportunity to step outside of her comfort zone and meet new lifelong friends. The next quote that guided me is, "You get up, you dress up, you show up, and you never give up." This became my motto for how I approached my high school classroom, where I ultimately decided to pursue full-time dual enrollment beginning my junior year. Going into a college campus at 16 was intimidating, but that experience has resulted in a confidence to walk into scary situations or into any room and make connections. I learned that even though it might be difficult, continue to show up, push forward, and work hard. The last thing I can hear my mom saying is that every high school student should have to be a waitress before they graduate. At the time, I couldn't have realized just how many life lessons serving would teach me. Not only did it teach me the value of budgeting and how to make money $1 at a time, but it also taught me how to interact with people who started as strangers but became my friends by the end of a meal. Waitressing taught me how to effectively solve conflict and how to work as a team. The combination of these principles became the house that built me, and while statistics said I shouldn't make it, it was these experiences that taught me the fundamental role that family can play in overcoming adversity and building success, and ultimately that's what's influenced my desire to become a marriage and family therapist. David Richo said, "Our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful parts of us." While I haven't seen or spoken to my biological father since I was 4 years old, successfully navigating life without him has given me tremendous life experience and how to turn trauma into triumph. Certainly there were times where I didn't understand those experiences, but I can see now how the most difficult of those experiences are the very ones that have shaped me and prepared me for my time at Auburn. In my application essay, I shared the story about my best friend being killed by a drunk driver 2 weeks after moving to Auburn. At the time, it felt like this trauma would consume me. But again, I've learned to find ways to use circumstance and heartbreak as a catalyst for going back to my values and finding ways to use my experiences to help others. During the school assembly that I organized, I remember Natalie Bacho, founder of Abby's Angels, and also the mother of Abby, a little girl killed on Christmas Eve by a distracted teen driver, saying, "Assemblies like this give me the opportunity to say Abby's name, and you'll never know how therapeutic just saying her name out loud is. So thank you for the opportunity to say her name and tell you about Abby." This application and this video interview is giving me the healing power of saying Rayanna's name out loud. So like Natalie, I say thank you for the opportunity to say her name. I believe that the best therapists can relate to their clients. Whether it's working with a teen who's a type A personality, or with a broken family who's experienced abandonment, or with someone who's faced a great loss, I will use my personal experiences as a framework for guiding successful therapy. Before coming to Auburn, I had spent a considerable amount of time immersed in the world of medicine. I had many great mentors and leaders at both Children's of Alabama and UAB who poured their advice and wisdom into me during key fundamental years. I knew that I wanted to help and heal people, and I saw the quickest route to do that was through medical school. When I got to Auburn, I chose a degree in global studies because I envisioned myself going to medical school, and I dreamed of practicing medicine in a developing world. I always saw myself working with diverse populations and wanted to learn everything I could about different cultures. After a few semesters and some fantastic courses, I realized that what excited me and where my true passion was in learning about human behavior, family dynamics, and the way that therapy is used not only for improvement in quality of life, but in really maximizing a family's purpose. I began to research and explore many career options such as social work, counseling, and psychology, but through some very influential encounters, I found my true love in marriage and family therapy. During my internship this past summer, I developed a program known as the JUMP Mentorship Program. JUMP stands for Join, Unite, Motivate, and Prepare. This program is designed to allow college students to mentor individuals with chronic complex conditions of childhood as they begin their process of transitioning from pediatric to adult health care. My abstract describing this project was approved for a platform presentation at the Alabama Transition Leadership Institute this April in Opelika. This project, along with various other projects, have given me the experience in quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods research. Since finding my passion, I can see where my experiences in working with diverse populations at camp, my internship this past summer at Children's Hospital, my study abroad, my coursework in global studies, the practicum that I was able to complete with Dr. Kettering, and now the research project and service learning opportunity that I'm able to be a part of with Dr. Adler-Bader and Dr. McGill have each in unique ways prepared me to fully embrace a multicultural perspective. When thinking about preparing this video and reading this question, I almost had to laugh. For me, for as long as I can remember, it's always been Auburn. But seriously, Auburn's Marriage and Family Therapy program is a standout program. It's nationally accredited and focuses both on training excellent clinicians and competent researchers. Students are trained to work with diverse individuals on a wide variety of presenting issues. And while I know firsthand how intensive the program can be, I've also seen why it's worth it. To me, Auburn's always been home. In closing, I'd love to share one of my favorite scriptures, Romans 8:28. We know that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. When I look back over my life, I've always been the person that others seek out for advice. I can see where every road led me to this application, to this program, to this time, and to this career. I can look back and see all the ways that my experiences were the result of all things being perfectly aligned for a purpose. I ultimately ended up with a daddy who adopted me in the 2nd grade, and a mom who was a 21-year-old divorced single mother is now pursuing her PhD in rehabilitation science. That assembly for some reason that I felt an overwhelmingly led to organize, not only gave my heart a way to prepare for the unthinkable tragedy, but it gave me a connection to a lifelong friend and mentor in Mike Letzenkergen. Each year, his foundation, Letzy 43, awards a scholarship to a student who demonstrates outstanding character in the areas of service and leadership, and I'm honored to be a Letzy 43 Prepared for Life Scholarship recipient. In the same ways that I've used my story and my journey to impact those around me for good, I will utilize this degree to enrich the classroom experience, make differences in the lives of my clients, and shine a light into the field of mental health. Thank you for your consideration. I look forward to hearing from you soon.